There is something quietly striking happening when researchers compare the cognitive trajectories of aging populations around the world. Japanese elders, coastal Mediterranean communities, and Nordic populations that have sustained high fish consumption for generations consistently show lower rates of dementia and cognitive decline compared to their landlocked, fish-scarce counterparts. This isn't a coincidence, and the science behind it is more nuanced than most people realize. The central players here are EPA and DHA, two long-chain omega-3 fatty acids found predominantly in marine sources. The human brain is roughly 60% fat by dry weight, and DHA specifically makes up a significant portion of neuronal membrane phospholipids. As the brain ages, membrane fluidity declines, synaptic transmission becomes less efficient, and neuroinflammation begins to accumulate. DHA appears to play a critical role in maintaining the structural integrity of these membranes and modulating inflammatory pathways in neural tissue. Now, here is where the conversation gets important. Plant-based diets can supply ALA, alpha-linolenic acid, found in flaxseed, walnuts, and chia seeds. Many people have been led to believe that the body simply converts ALA into EPA and DHA as needed. The reality is considerably less reassuring. Human conversion efficiency for ALA to EPA typically falls between 5 and 10%, and conversion to DHA, the most neurologically critical of the three, is often below 1%. For a brain that increasingly depends on adequate DHA as it ages, this conversion bottleneck is not a minor inconvenience. It's a potential liability. What the epidemiological research from Japan and the Mediterranean reveals is that populations eating fatty fish 2 to 3 times per week are not just getting more omega-3s in absolute terms. They're getting them in a form the brain can directly use without relying on a metabolic conversion process that the body is poorly equipped to perform at meaningful scale. When aging introduces additional metabolic inefficiencies, those conversion rates likely drop further. It is worth pausing here to note the mercury concern, which is legitimate and shouldn't be dismissed with a wave of the hand. Larger, longer-living predatory fish, shark, swordfish, king mackerel, tilefish accumulate methylmercury at levels that carry genuine neurotoxic risk, particularly for pregnant women and young children. But sardines, wild-caught salmon, and Atlantic mackerel are consistently low in mercury and among the richest available sources of EPA and DHA. The risk-benefit calculation, when you are choosing the right fish, is strongly favorable. For those with no access to seafood or strong dietary objections to eating it, algae-based DHA supplements represent a biochemically sound alternative, since fish accumulate DHA by eating algae in the first place. The concern with most plant-based omega-3 supplements, however, is that they typically provide ALA alone, and we have just discussed where that pathway leads. If supplementing without eating fish, quality triglyceride-form algae oil with direct DHA content is the only option that genuinely addresses the brain health gap. The aging brain is a metabolically hungry organ operating in an increasingly inflammatory environment. The evidence from fish-eating cultures is not proof of causality in isolation, but when mechanistic research on DHA and epidemiological trends point in the same direction, the convergence is difficult to ignore. Eating fatty fish regularly is one of the more defensible nutritional choices available to anyone who takes cognitive longevity seriously.